Hey. Hey guys. I'm gonna give it a few minutes before we get started just to let whoever else wants to come in, trickle in. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in and hanging with me tonight. I'm really excited to work on some crafts together, have this time. Just gonna give it another minute. Just sorting through the technicalities of this. First time going live. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. I hope everyone's got their cocktails and they're ready to come craft with me. That is part of it, is the crafting and cocktails. I got my cocktail right here. We're doing the Lychee Mojito tonight. If you guys saw on my page earlier, I posted up the recipe and kind of showed y'all how to make it. So maybe you tried this, or maybe you bring in something else that's fun tonight. So if it's not this, let me know what you guys are sipping on. Write me in the chat and tell me what your cocktail of choice is for the evening. I'm actually just gonna get a little bit of that going. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna get started. It's been a couple minutes. Guys, if you're just watching on on YouTube, make sure you come into the chat so we can talk tonight. All right. This is what I'm working on tonight. I had started this project earlier, so this is something I'm in the middle of right now. And I think in future weeks I'll set up a craft that we could all do together. I would really love to do that. So maybe throughout the evening or later on, if there's anything you guys think about, can think of that you guys want to work on together, or some craft ideas you'd like to do, I'd love to hear about it, and then we can make it happen. But right now, this is what I'm working on. I've got a painting project I was in the middle of, and I am working with acrylic paints on an old surfboard that I refurbished. So hopefully it's gonna look pretty cool at the end. I'm already a good ways through, so you can kind of just see me get going on this. I'm working on the waves now. But while I'm working on this, I would love to hear what you guys are working on. So if you want to write me in the chat or send me a picture later and show me what you guys did during the craft session, I'd love to see it. And if you'd like, I can post it up and show what we were all working on. That would be really fun. So right now I'm just kind of filling in this wave that I already started, just for consistency. And I've got, as you can see, a lot of blues in my color palette. I'll let you know if you're interested the colors. I'm using Winsor & Newton acrylics, and I've got just a whole range of blues, and then I kind of mix them up as I go. So tonight I'm definitely working on a lot of blending. So of course I want you guys to be working on your crafts, but if you want to listen in and get a few tips with some painting, I'd love to help out with that. So I'll finish this one up for a little bit, and then after I'm going to move on to the next wave, and you can see from scratch how I kind of pull all the colors together and get them all blended nice and smooth. Oh yay, I love reading your comments in the chat. Thank you. I'm really excited to have you guys here. Really excited. Actually, this is super fun for me. Having friends and just making time for art, making time to hang out and do something creative together. And that's how I want to spend my free time. So put on some chill music. Oh yay, me too. Me too. Wanting to work on arts and crafts. It's a comment. That's exactly what I was thinking. I just thought it would be really cool to have a set time every week. We can all pull out what we're working on, or we could start working on things together. We can mix it up. I think that'd be really fun. Also, I really want to see what everyone does afterwards. I mean, that's half the fun of this. Thanks. It tastes really good too. Drink. Lychee Mojito. Telling you, let me know what you guys make. I hope you have something. Maybe it's not the Lychee Mojito, but let me know. You have a glass of wine or some fun craft beer. Doesn't have to be fancy. I love making fun drinks though, fun cocktails. I feel like in a funny way it's kind of like artsy. It's part of being creative, right? Making fun drinks, working on the presentation. I'd like to have a different, fun, themed cocktail every week, so even if you just come for the drinks, it's something. Woohoo! Wind Down Wednesday. There you go. Alright, so you can see I'm just kind of, moving along, like I said, on this part that I've already been working on. I said I was going to tell you guys the colors. I've got titanium white, ivory black, but I'm not using the black yet. I got, in order from lightest to darkest, I got cerulean blue, cobalt blue, ultramarine, and Windsor blue. And then for the peak at the top, I threw a little pale olive in there. They're standard colors. I mean, sometimes I know the buying supplies could be a little intimidating, but it's pretty standard when you're at the store. Oh, tea works. Nothing wrong with a nice cup of tea. But yeah, I like to use acrylics because you get nice rich colors still, but you don't have to wait as long like oil paints for them to dry. And if you kind of just work at a good pace with them, you could still, before they dry, you can get that blending in. So especially if you're maybe a little bit new or a little bit like intimidated on working with paints, acrylic is definitely the way to go. I find it's one of the easier mediums. Oil's great, but it could be a little bit tough. You need to finesse oil. I'm glad this is a cocktail crowd. It's my crowd right there. I'm just going at the end with that Windsor blue, and you're going to see in a little bit when I move on in the next part how it starts off kind of blocky. You just got to really blend one color into the next and not be afraid when it's really, really bright. You just get in there after with the blending. I'm loving the comments. There you go. Paint and sip with acrylic. And you are an artist, right? You're working on art, so makes you an artist. We're all at different levels. Oh, guys, I think it's so important to make time for these creative endeavors. Even if you don't feel like, oh, I'm an artist. No, everyone's an artist. Everyone's got that creative something, even if it's in, different creative spaces. It doesn't always have to be painting. Maybe you like crafting. Maybe you're a sewer. Maybe you make a mean, fancy, chef-looking dinner. Maybe you're an amazing spreadsheeter. I have a friend in this, well, I have a friend in this group who happens to be amazing at everything, but she makes a mean spreadsheet. Can get creative with that. I think sitting and making time for something that is just therapeutic like this, something that brings those creative juices out, I think it's really important, especially in this time where we can kind of get lost in our day-to-day to-do list. So again, really happy you guys are here, hanging with me, working on whatever you're working on. Love it. Spending a little extra time on the bottom there because I'm just making sure I got all the spaces covered before I move on to the next one. Once it's dry, it's, you know, it's all set. Also, don't forget, let me know what you guys are working on. Take a minute, write me in the chat. I'd love to kind of see what you guys are already in the middle of. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna move down to the next section. Now you guys can kind of, there we go, see me work on the next part of the wave from the get-go. I already kind of put in that light color at the top earlier and then realized I wanted to finish out the wave before I move to the next spot before it dries. Just gotta hang on, make sure I get my sips in. The art of folding clothes. There you go. Hey, that could be soothing. Throw that cocktail in. We'll call it a craft. Okay guys, let's see. I'm gonna got my brushes cleaned. I'm gonna start working on the lighter colors. I'm mixing a cerulean blue with the titanium white. I'm just gonna paint over and start working light to dark. Right now I'm using a fan brush to kind of start the blending as I go. Get a little texture in so it doesn't look so, not perfect, but blocky. Fan brush just kind of like pulls the colors. I'm putting a little white in just to get the fluidity of the wave. I'm blending it in. I think I'm gonna go back later after it dries and put some highs and lows, some brights and darks in there at the end. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever you're working on, something I have to tell myself often. Just, start putting it on paper, getting whatever you're working on going. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be something that makes you smile when you look at it after. Makes you feel good while you're doing it. I've been really into painting anything water related or surf related lately. It's just been my new kind of motif I've got going on. I started surfing last year. Oof. Just nothing like it. Nothing like it. Really brings me a lot of joy, like painting and doing art. It's very cathartic, similar way. So anything that kind of makes me think of that, bringing my two loves here together, makes me really happy. Oh, guys, I'm excited to show you this surfboard at the end when it's done. Some of you know I've been working on it for a little while. Had to take a break, went away this summer, coming back to it. Happy to be working on it with you guys. Okay, so now I'm going into the next color range. I got my cobalt blue, and I mixed it with the cerulean, so it's not such a stark difference. Kind of got this like median tone going. Filling it in, and I'm gonna sort of blend it out after. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna. Just getting in there. Oh yay! Hey Talia. Hey Felipe. Oh yay, I love that. Thanks. Well, hello, Mr. Smith. Alright, see, I was using a dry brush before. Using a dry brush, sometimes I find that helpful to pull the wet paint together. Just different ways of blending. Why, yes, it is a surfboard. was going into my, I guess right before you got here, I was going into my love of surfing. And I'm happy to bring two things I'm really passionate about together. This surfboard was an old, used, kind of beat up board I got, took off someone's hands and just brought it back to life. I refurbished it, I filled in the holes, sanded it down, a lot of prep work. Got it ready, put a coat of primer on it, and then the fun part. I got some videos I'll post up of all the stuff I did up to this point, all the sketching and painting in those cool little neon squares. That was fun. Best for last, working on these waves. Yeah, definitely don't drink out of the water cup for your paintbrushes. That's why all my cups have wine. Same. Yes, this is a Lychee Mojito. A Lychee Mojito. Make it a little something extra. I got the recipe on my page. I'll always try to post up the cocktail recipe of the week beforehand, at least the day before. So, you guys can bring what you want, but if you want to try something new and fun, I got you covered. And you will say I make a pretty mean cocktail, so there'll be some fun ones if you guys come back and check it out. I'm gonna make this a weekly thing, crafting and cocktails. I'm telling you, we're gonna get that group craft going. It's gonna be fun. Send you guys out that supply list ahead of time. I'll make it something doable that we could all kind of have fun working on together. But like I said, not to repeat myself, but I just love making this time. Especially middle of the week. I got things going on. You guys got things going on. But this is what we're doing now. We're sitting down. We're sitting down and we're making art. Or we're working on crafts or throwing a sketch on the paper. Just something that kind of takes a break out of the week and gives us something to look forward to. Alright guys, I'm working my way down the color palette here. Starting to throw in more of that cobalt blue and a little ultramarine. It's not perfect. I'm just kind of trying to get a little flow going between the colors. Like I said, a little bit more challenging with the blending for acrylics because they dry a lot faster, but there's a lot of upside to working with something that kind of just dries and a little bit easier. You can go on to the next thing. I always try to keep a bunch of brushes on hand. Just different things. Regular brushes, fan brushes, textured stuff is always cool to have, sponges. Believe it or not, paper towels gives a little interesting texture. I was working on something that had a lot of architecture recently, and paper towel kind of gave it this cool, interesting texture on the side of the walls to just make it look more like the kind of texture-y cement that they use versus just something that looks too flat, toothbrush. I mean, there's so many different things you can use around the house that give texture to your painting. Hope you guys are enjoying the music in the background while we work. Tried to pick out some chill songs. Just a nice little beat while we're doing our thing. Really makes me happy. Really, really special getting to work on this stuff together. Guys, I'm really happy you guys came in and joined me tonight. Thank you. It means a lot. I hope you guys are having fun too. Hope it's a nice little break in your week. I think it's gonna be all right, great, good. Oh, you guys are loving the texture. I mean the texture. You're loving the music, great. Yeah, I think the fun part too is really gonna be at the end, seeing what everyone was kind of working on, or seeing what drink you made, or just whatever. Take a picture, send it to me. I'd love to see it. So fun. Go along. It becomes really methodical, and I don't know if that's the right word, but just really, yeah, I guess methodical, putting the paint down on the canvas. Slowly working it in. Oh, it's just therapeutic. And you kind of get in the zone, and then before you know it, you look up and here it is. You got something pretty cool going on. Sound texture. You got me. It's live. What are you gonna do?